Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Ferry worker injuries in maritime accident. Ferry boats worldwide give all kinds of people mobility. Many people rely on this boat to get across waterways that are not traversed by road or bridges. Some of these boats ferry people only, while other larger vessels take people and their cars across rivers, lakes, bays, and other waterways. Some people use ferries every day to get to work or school, while others are more commonly used by vacationers. Ferry accidents are disturbingly common and come up in the news describing tragic crashes and vessel sinking. Passengers may lose their lives in these incidents, and ferry workers are too often lost or injured as well. If you work on or near ferries, you may be entitled to compensation if you get injured on the job. In the worst case scenario, your dependent loved ones may be able to get compensation. And then about ferry accident. The news is too often full of tragic ferry accident, and no part of the world is immune to this incident. Ferry boats are a great way to get around and allow people to access locations they wouldn't be able to get to otherwise. But this kind of travel comes with risks for both passengers and workers. A lot of states and countries with waterways turn to ferries for travel because they are less expensive than building roads and bridges. Unfortunately, when accidents happen with they make the news because fatalities are common in this tragic mistake. South Korea, 2014. It's hard to forget this tragic ferry accident because it resulted in the loss of more than 260 lives, mostly young students. The large ferry boat sank off the southwest coast of South Korea as it ferried the students and other passengers to a resort island. Excess and improperly stowed cargo was found to be the cause of the accident, according to an investigation. New York, 2013. Fortunately, in the Staten Island ferry collision with its terminal in Manhattan, no one was killed or seriously injured. Walker reported a loss of steering control, which causes the collision and moderate damage to the boat and terminal. North Carolina, 2013. A ferry ran aground close to Battery Island, causing more than a dozen injuries to passengers and ferry workers. Luckily, no one was killed in this accident. Philippines, 2013. When a ferry disaster occurred in the Philippines, over 50 people lost their lives. The ferry, which was supposed to stay in a designated channel, changed its navigation and collided with another vessel. The Philippines relies on ferries for transportation between its many islands and has had many disasters, including at least 14 with fatalities since 1990. Alaska, 2011. Not all ferry accidents cause injuries to the people aboard. In Alaska, a longshore worker suffered several injuries while loading cargo onto a ferry. And then what caused ferry accident? Clearly, ferry accident can cause ferry worker injuries, passenger injuries, and both worker and passenger fatalities in the most tragic situation. What is to blame in these incidents? It is rare that no preventable cause can be found, which means that there is nearly always some types of negligence involved. The owner of a ferry is responsible for taking all measures to ensure the safety of passengers and workers. And if something is missed and an accident results, they can be held accountable. One reason a ferry accident may occur that is no one's fault is bad weather. Some ferries apply dangerous waters, and if weather causes an accident, there may or may not be negligence involved. Even when nature is to blame for an accident, the captain or employer may still be negligent. The ferry should not run if weather is too inclement. Workers on the ferry should be trained to keep passengers safe when weather is bad. If these precautions aren't taken, negligence could be to blame in a weather-related accident. Other common reasons for ferry accidents are clearly negligence. These include operator of the ferry being intoxicated, poor maintenance of the ferry and its equipment, improper training of workers, overloading ferries with cargo, or improperly storing cargo aboard the ferry, fatigues, worker falling asleep on the job, or mechanical failures. The ferry may also become unsafe when overloaded with passengers. And then next, ferry worker injuries. Even when there is no tragic ferry accident, it is not uncommon for ferry workers to suffer injuries on the job. Bad weather can cause hypothermia or frostbite if workers are not given adequate protective gear or time to come in from the cold and take a break. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to give like, comment, and subscribe.